Why does this famous Louis Vuitton film look exactly like Digimon the movie? Most Digimon fans don't know about the very direct, very literal connection between Digimon and Louis Vuitton, not to mention Takashi Murakami and even Studio Ghibli. 26 years ago, in March of 2000, full-time Toei staffer, animator and director Mamoru Hosoda had just finished work on Digimon Adventure Our War Game, what North American fans best know as the middle part of Digimon the movie. After his first Digimon short film, Digimon Adventure, the Japanese animation industry was buzzing about Hosoda, this new hotshot animator making a name for himself over at Toei. But it was the second of his Digimon films, Our War Game, that really put him on the map. Its stunning depiction of the internet with dreamlike rings and clocks and Ferris wheels, its never-ending white backdrops, and it all made him something of a rising star. Many fans of his work know that he left Toei and later went on to found Studio Chizu, but not as many know about what happened in between those 2 points. Studio Ghibli actually recruited the 33-year-old Hosoda to lead their new film shortly after the release of Our War Game, taking him away from Toei in August of 2000. Believe it or not, there was a time when Hayao Miyazaki was not planning to direct Howl's Moving Castle, and the newcomer from Toei, Hosoda, was to be its director. Little is known about what went down during the pre-production period, but Hosoda was ultimately fired in spring of 2002. In Charles Solomon's book, The Man Who Leapt Through Film, the author suggests that Hosoda's outsider status and unique approach to filmmaking was poorly received by the legacy animators and management at Ghibli, who perhaps had a certain way of doing things. Miyazaki took on Howl's Moving Castle in the end, but can you imagine a version of that film directed by the Wolf Children and Boy and the Beast guy, or a world where those films were Ghibli productions? So here's where Louis Vuitton comes into play. Hosoda exits Ghibli and returns to Toei in 2002 in what appears to be somewhat of a dark time for the young director. At that exact moment, Japanese pop art superstar Takashi Murakami approaches Toei. Murakami and Louis Vuitton have an upcoming collaboration, and they want to work with Toei to create an animated short film to accompany the collab. According to Hosoda, Murakami and Louis Vuitton had a very specific look in mind. Quote, "When Louis Vuitton approached us, I heard they said, 'We want to work with this Mamoru Hosoda.' That was flattering, but when I looked at their presentation, I could see that the digital world we'd created in Digimon Adventure Our War Game was the look they were going for. In other words, Louis Vuitton approached Toei and said, 'We want that Digimon the movie look.' And as it happens, they came to Toei looking for Hosoda just as he was returning from his 2 years away. Ready to stretch his creative muscles and get back to directing, Hosoda is attached to the Louis Vuitton Murakami project, and the result was 2003's 5-minute short film Superflat Monogram, a sort of Digimon meets Alice in Wonderland. We see a young girl waiting outside a Louis Vuitton shop reach for her phone to connect with her friends when suddenly a digital life form materializes. Then a Murakami-style panda monster appears, eats up the girl, sending her down a rabbit hole into a dream world that resembles Hosoda's internet. This is very much a remix of the world of Digimon, and a sort of missing link in the evolutionary chain between Our War Game and 2009's Summer Wars, another Hosoda film that features an internet world in this style. I can't watch this short film and not imagine it's a Hosoda-led Digimon series. At the end of it all, our Alice figure finds herself back in the real world, where the kids that I'm calling this season's Digidestined finally greet her. Superflat Monogram is essential viewing for fans of Digimon as far as I'm concerned. Short and full of wonder, it is ultimately another look inside that magical internet world Hosoda dreamed up. It tells a 5-minute story about a girl getting spirited away through the electronics of her time. It's entirely standalone, but it oozes Digimon. There is also a 2009 follow-up short, Superflat First Love Film, that tries to hit the same beats but is fully 3D this time around. Hosoda did not work on this, and to me, the 3D just doesn't hit the same. When you consider that Hosoda's exceptional Summer Wars released that same year in 2009 and still looks amazing, this short film with its aged 3D animation, it don't impress me much. So, had you ever seen this Louis Vuitton short film? And if you had, did you notice how much it resembled Digimon's Our War Game? Did you realize they shared directors? Digimon was literally a major inspiration for 2 of the biggest names in luxury fashion. Now you can tell your high fashion friends and art school friends that actually our goofy Monster Tamer series is secretly Louis Vuitton and Takashi Murakami's muse. I hope you enjoyed this little chip in the never-ending Digimon iceberg. What other weird Digimon lore and adjacent media would you like to hear me talk about? Thanks for watching, see you in the next video.